Guys, today I'm going to read a part of Wayside School Beneath the Cloud of Doom. Newbery Medal winning award author Louis Sachar. Illustrated by Teen Hits. Well, please first just subscribe to my channel to see many other more stuff. If you're not interested in this, it's okay. Wayside School Beneath the Cloud of Doom. And I'm interested in this. A note from the author. This is the fourth book about Wayside School. I wrote the first one, Cyber Stories from Wayside School, more than 40 years ago. I'm a lot older now, but in my heart I'm still Louis, the art teacher, passing out the balls and playing with the kids at recess. To fully enjoy this book, you should read the other three words. Read 40 years and then read this one, or you can just read it now. Actually, guys, I'm going to read the other books too, don't worry. I just have to finish these books quick. The Bells of Wayside. It is very important that the children at Wayside School know the bell system. Oh, sorry, I got an interruption. The first bell in the morning sounds like this. Whoop, 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 whoop. When they hear it, they know they have 16 minutes to get to class. That's not too difficult for those in Mr. Hargrove's class on the 3rd floor. But Wayside School is a 30-story building with one room on each floor. So for those who happen to be in Mrs. Joel's class, way up on the 30th floor, they must be ready on the first whoop. Todd was in Mrs. Joel's class. He was stuck behind a mass of kids outside in the building, waiting for the doors to open. He jumped up and down, trying to see over the heads of those in front of him. If he was late, Miss Jules will put his name on the blackboard under the word discipline. The kids who went to class on the lower floors often dilly-dallied. If Todd got stuck behind a large group of dilly-dalliers, he had no chance. In the principal's office, Mr. Kidswater sat behind his enormous desk as he watched the clock. At the moment of the second hand reached the number 12, he shrieked into the microphone. Whoop, 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 whoop. The doors unlocked, and the children stampeded into the building way up the stairs. Todd tried his best to weigh his way to the front, but there wasn't enough room. 8 minutes later, Mr. Kidswater tugged on the rope hanging through the hole in the ceiling, and the second bell rang. Clang, 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 clang. Todd counted the clangs. 8. That means he only had 8 minutes to get to class. 7 or 9 clangs would have meant something completely different. 7 means a helicopter was landing on the roof. 9 clangs meant a porcupine have entered the building. So far, he only made it to the 7th floor. He finally managed to weave his way past all the dilly-dalliers. There were nothing to slow him now. When he reached down the 18th floor, he heard this sound. Chingling, chingling, chingling. Nothing to worry there. That just means that they were out of donuts in the teacher's land. Donuts. The scary bell was the late bell. It didn't matter where he was. It always sounded like an angry driver slamming on a car horn right behind him. It made Todd jump every time. Quickly dashed from the 18th to the 20th floor. There was no 19th floor. His legs were sore, and he was breathing hard as he reached the top. Just ahead, he could see Joy enter the classroom. "Don't shut the..." Todd shouted. Joy shut the door behind him. "Guzak," said Todd. He was just opening when the horn blared, as if right behind him. "You're late, Todd," said Miss Jules as he entered the classroom. "Right here." "I know," he said. He wrote his name on the blackboard under the word discipline. Other bells rang throughout the day. At noon, the lunch bell kaboinked 3 times. 3 kaboinks make macaroons and cheese. The bells for recess was just a single ding, but nobody ever missed it. At the end of each day, Mr. Kidswater banged a giant gong with a large iron mallet. Favorite thing to do as about being principal. Todd sat at his desk, glumly looking at the blackboard. This day has started off badly for him and had only gotten worse. There was now a check mark next to his name under word discipline. Next to that, Mrs. Jules kept adding new homework assignments. Read a book, write a book report, draw a picture. Don't forget your paperclip. History, read pages 55 to 59 and answer questions on page 61 to 62. Math worksheets, do even and odd numbered problems. Science, read pages 29 to 34 and do experiment on 37. Todd had a sick feeling in his stomach, and it wasn't just the mac and cheese in big letters. In big letters, across the top of the blackboard, Miss Jules had written, "Ultimate test starts tomorrow." Mrs. Jules had been warning the class about the ultimate test all year. The test would last for 3 days. If he had failed, Todd will be sent back to kindergarten, and then he heard it, the most magical bell of all. Bing bong! The bell is only rung once in his history of the Wayside School, and nobody knew who rang it, but everyone knew what it meant. All around, kids began cheering and clapping their hands. Shouts of joy could be heard coming from every floor of Wayside School. Todd sat there in sudden disbelief. It rang again. Bing! Bong! It was the erase the blackboard bell. Miss Jules had no choice. She picked up the eraser. Up and down Wayside School, teachers were doing the same thing. Todd smiled as the homework assignments were wiped away. The ultimate test was cancelled. His name was removed from the discipline list, and the discipline soon disappeared. Deep in the basement, a man with a black mustache slapped over the back attached case. Another man who also had a black mustache placed a small silver bell into the case. Third man, who was bald, put in a solid ping pong paddle. Oh, $1 million. By the time Terrence had got to school, he had already kicked 99 different things. It started the morning he woke up. He kicked his bed, he kicked Rocky, his favorite stuffed animal, and when he left his bedroom, he kicked the door shut. He kicked the wall as he sat at the kitchen counter and ate cereal. He kicked the table. He kicked 3 chairs. He kicked rock on his way to school. He kicked the flagpole. Still, as much as Terrence liked to kick things, it took him his whole life to kill 1 million things. "How much is 1 million?" Miss Jules asked her class. Oh, I know, said Mac, stretching his hand high. Miss Jules called on Mac. "1 million?" Mac answered proudly. "Well, yes, I suppose that's correct, Miss Jules," said Miss Jules. "1 million is 1 million. Anyone else, John?" John lowered his hand. 999,999. He paused, then add +1. He smiled. "Ooh, that's good, John," said Donna, very impressed. "John's really smart," Joe agreed. Terrence wasn't paying attention. His big toe hurt from all that kicking. His toenail was too long. Sherry, who had been sleeping at her desk, suddenly woke up and said, 10 times 10, 10 times 10, 10 times 10, 10 times 10, 10 times 10. She rested her head on her red and blue overcoat and went back to sleep. Is that right, Miss Jules? Asked Jason. Said Miss Jules as he tried to multiply all of Sherry's 10. Well, if Sherry said it, it must be right. Arithmetic makes my brain numb, said Damien. That's why they call it numbers, said DJ. Terrence's big toe toppled in pain. He couldn't think about anything else. There's really one way to understand just how big a million is, said Miss Jules. It's not by using arithmetic. We need to collect a million somethings. Dollars, explained Joy. Everyone cheered. They liked that idea. Then we can have the biggest party ever, said Didi. We're not collecting $1 million, said Miss Jules. Any other ideas? Pumpkins, suggested Dana. Everyone cheered Dana's idea too, but not as loudly as Joy. I don't think 1 million pumpkins would fit school. We need something small and not too expensive. Little pieces of paper? Nobody cheered. Boring, sang Kathy. Stephen felt hurt, but deep down he had to admit that collecting bits of paper wouldn't have been a whole lot of fun. Ron suggested mud, but that was too rejected. It's a good idea, Ron, said Miss Jules, but you can't count mud. Why not? There's no such thing as one mud or two muds. Why not? Ron asked again. I don't know, Miss Jules had to admit. Terrence couldn't take it any longer. He took off his shoe, then his sock. One desk, Randy stared at him, horrified.
Okay.
You can't cut your tongue. He opened his desk and took a pair of safety scissors, then swung leg over the... He started stamping. You can't cut your toenails in class, said Randy. It's against the rules. Who says, said Terrence. It was one tough toenail, and the scissors weren't all that sharp. Miss Jules, said Randy. Terrence is cutting his toenails right in class. Some kids laughed. Some said, gross. Terrence put hard in his scissors. At last, a piece of his toenail fell free. His toe instantly felt better. Terrence, come here right now, demanded Miss Jules, and bring your toenail with you. Clipping off his shoes, one shoe off, one shoe on, he hobbled to the front of the room. Give me that, Miss Jules demanded. Terrence dropped the nail clipping to the teacher's house with his hand. You're a genius, Terrence, Miss Jules said Miss Jules. She held her nail clipping high in the air. That's one, she announced. 999,999 to go. 3. Up and down. Up, said DJ. Down. Up, said DJ. Down, replied Katie, who stood next to him. Up, DJ. Up, DJ repeated. Down, Katie insisted. Truth, Katie did not know what DJ was talking about. She disliked it to argue. No matter what DJ said, she always said the opposite. Up, DJ said again. Down, Katie instantly replied. Shh, said Donna, who sat behind Katie. I'm trying to read. Katie turned around and Dana's face was streaked with tears. Why you're crying? Asked Katie. Dana showed her book she'd been reading, The Lost Giraffe. So, asked Katie, the giraffe is lost. Well, what did you expect, stupid? Asked Katie. She didn't like Dana any more than she liked DJ. Up, said DJ. Down, snapped Katie. Dana, Katie, DJ, said Miss Jules. You are making a lot of noise for silent reading. Sorry, said DJ. I can't. Up! Help it. I have the up! Hiccups. Katie's turned red. She'd been arguing with a hiccup. Has this ever happened before? Miss Jules asked him. He had the up hiccups before, but they always went up away. Stand on your head and drink a glass of water, Myron suggested. Eat a lemon, said Jenny. Hold your tongue while you say the Pledge of Allegiance, said Joy. DJ tried the suggestions. When he was finished, his mouth was puckered, his shirt was wet, and he still had the hiccups. He felt very patriotic, however. I think you better go see Dr. Pickle, said Miss Jules. Katie will take you. He hopped out of his seat, glad she wouldn't have to read. Come on, dummy, she said, and let DJ out of the room. Up! Hiccuped DJ. Down, said Katie. She couldn't help herself. Pickle's real name was Dr. Pickle. His office was on the fourth floor. Katie knocked on the door. Dr. Pickle opened it. He had a pointy beard and wore glasses. Yes, he said. Stupid hair got the hiccups, said Katie. Up! Hiccuped DJ. Down, said Katie. Dr. Pickle up this chin. Very interesting, he muttered, although he was looking at Katie, not at DJ. Very, very interesting. He told Katie to wait and invited DJ inside. And he smiles too much, too. He calls just before the door shut. DJ sat on a couch. Dr. Pickle sat across from him. Long gold chain on one end hung a green stone shaped like a pickle. Gently swung the stone back and forth. Watch the pickle, he said. His voice was warm and soothing. DJ's eyes moved back and forth with the stone. I will count to 5 and then you will fall into a deep, deep sleep. Dr. Pickle slowly continued. 1, 2, boo! DJ fell off the couch. Well, asked Dr. Pickle. DJ got up. He waited a moment. I think they're gone, he said. Dr. Pickle led him to the door. First thing we learned at Piscataway School, he said, patting DJ on the head. My hiccups are all gone, DJ told Katie. Who cares, said Katie. Wait, said Dr. Pickle. Would you mind stepping in my office, young lady? Me? asked Katie. Please, said Dr. Pickle. But he's the sicko, said Katie, pointing at DJ. Please, Dr. Pickle repeated. Katie shrugged, then entered the counselor's office. The beard is really ugly, she said. I guess your face must be even worse, huh? DJ sat on the floor in the hallway, his back against the wall, waiting for Katie. He smiled, happy that his hiccups were gone, although he missed them a bit too. Hiccups are annoying, but kind of fun. Sometime later, the counselor's door opened. Thank you, Dr. Pickle, said Katie, calling him by his proper name. You're very wise, and I like your beard. That's very nice of you to say, Katie, said the new counselor. She stepped out the door. Hi, DJ, she greeted him. Thanks for waiting. You're a good friend. The smile left DJ's face. Something was definitely wrong with Katie. Let's go up, DJ, said DJ. Yes, up, Katie agreed. Now he was really worried. Now, there's many more, but I'm going to go in the next part later. What we're going to spend our 2 minutes for. Okay. Wayside School, beneath the cloud of doom. Let's for Ruth. Let's see the chapters. The bells of Wayside. A million. Up and down. Consider the paperclip. Eric, and what's his name? Oh, Eric. Up, oppositosis. Oh, oppositosis. The closet that wasn't there. Science. The gong stuck. What's the pillow? Mr. Surlop. Umbrella. Mr. K and Dr. P. It's actually Mr. Kidswater and Dr. Prickle. But so funny, no, they even had a warning. A short chapter about a long book. The best principal ever. The mirror. Push down inside the closet. Breathe. The moment. Blame it on the cloud. Again, and blame it on the cloud. They actually just blame on the cloud. The ultimate test. Day 1. Jump rope and make the trick. The ultimate test. Day 2. The ultimate test. The ultimate test. Day 3. Kachuga boop. The teacher with the long fingernail. After the storm. Rainbow. Thank you very much.